So this is the Museum Specimen Interactive Map Overview. This project was part of the course Internet Mapping taught by Dr. Luping Yang. And the group members for this project were Juan Camacho, Joseph Kleinkopf, and Eve Rowland. And you can find our contact information on this page as well. And with that, we can get started.
The goals of this application, there are kind of two main goals. The first is to display museum specimen data from the Museum of Southwestern Biology at the University of New Mexico in a more easily accessible manner. And we wanted to target kind of a broader audience from just the casual person to scientists who want detailed data about these collections. There are some websites that kind of show museum data already, but we wanted to kind of focus in on the University of New Mexico's collections specifically. And the reason for this is that there's a lot of important data stored here at UNM. And so our museum plays a pretty big role in education museum, and they're pretty important in facilitating scientific research. And our collections have been utilized across biology in many different kinds of studies as well. So systematics, ecology, evolution, and in conservation. And because digitization of collections and collections data is important and beneficial for both scientists, educators, and then also just for general people, just generally speaking, we wanted to kind of put our data at the museum into kind of an accessible and visual format. Data from the University of New Mexico is hosted in a few different databases, but all of these databases push their data to the Global Biodiversity Information Facility, or GBIF. And this database also formats the data in a similar way, so we can download just the data that we need. And so we downloaded data from all 8 of our collections at UNM through GBIF. And so this data source is pretty comprehensive for our museum. And as I mentioned, we downloaded from all 8 collections, but 7 taxa are represented in these data. So amphibians and reptiles, or the herp division, arthropods, birds, fishes, plants in the herbarium, mammals, and parasites, as well as the parasite hosts.
So due to the large size of our data set, we added in a loading screen to make sure that all of the data is displayed as soon as the web app begins. Okay, so once the data is displayed on the map, you're able to filter the data based on what you would like to look at through 3 different ways. So there's a pie chart here that filters by specimen type. So this represents all of the 8 different collections that we have off to the side here. So here are all of the available collections. You can also filter by taxon. So it's by order, family, and genera. And all of them that are included in the data are listed within these different selection windows. And the last filtering option is filtering by year. So you can highlight part of the bar chart like this, and it will filter the data on the map. All of these are responsive to one another. So you can see that all of these have just now updated since I highlighted the year. And you can go in and select just particular types of specimen here. So you can see everything's filtered now. So at this level of zoom, all of the specimens are clustered into these circles, and it has the total number of specimens listed within the circle. But let's see what happens when we zoom in a little closer. So right now I'm just filtering mammals, but again, you can filter however you would like off to the side. Once we get to this individual level where we're looking at individual specimens, you can click on the individual icons. And again, the icon key is over here. And you can look at the individual specimen information for each one of these individuals. It shows the collection, family, genus, species, as well as the catalog number, which helps anybody interested in this particular specimen to look it up on the actual database if you need more information. It also shows the year collected, as well as the actual coordinates for where it's showing up on the map. The last main option that we have on this main page of the web app is this download data button. So anything that's displayed within this window on the map, you can download the data for. So this is especially helpful for researchers that are interested in maybe going back and looking at the individual specimen information afterwards.
So we also had some tabs for the user to interact with. So starting with, we have a how to use tab. So this just breaks down the filtering options that Eve just mentioned. So we have the pie chart to filter different taxa, filtering by taxon, and also filtering by year. And then we also have the option to download data. And then we have another tab here where you can visualize the data in a different way. So we have some bar charts. And if you move the cursor onto each bar chart, you can see how many specimens are in each collection. And then you can also look at this stacked bar chart of a collection over time. So you can click and drag over a section of the chart to zoom in like so. And you can figure out more information about this as well. And then we have an about page, and this just gives you a brief overview about the project, as well as some more information about each team member and their contact information, the data sources where we got our data, as well as reference maps that we use for this interactive map, and also a breakdown of the filtering options and JavaScript libraries and plugins we used. And then we also have a resources tab. This is where you can find the webpage for the Museum of Southwestern Biology. You can contact a curator, and then there's also some useful information about the importance of natural history museums and some good links for that as well. And then if you click on museum information, this takes you to the Museum of Southwestern Biology website. And that concludes our demo. So now we can get back to the PowerPoint. So with that, we'd like to thank Dr. Liping Yang for assisting us throughout this project. We'd also like to thank the Museum of Southwestern Biology for providing our data and also just inspiring the project. And then we'd also like to thank the following web apps that we referenced during the process of creating ours. And this includes the Neotoma Explorer, Austin Lyons' D3 cross-filter tutorial, Tor Williams Interactive Map Explorer for world languages, and Gordon Woodhull's DC leaflet extension. And if you have any questions, we are now done.